Hi, we are going. This is the class of English for Health, and we are going to talk about male and female reproductive system and muscular system. Um, the students are Miguel Adrián, Karen Daniela, Arumi Abigail, María del Rosario, Ruby Paulina y Luis Ángel.
Female reproductive system. Introduction. The female reproductive system is the organ system of the human body that is related to the sexual reproductive process of women. It is made up of different organs such as the vagina, the uterus, the fallopian tubes, and the ovaries. Although this system has many other functions, it plays a crucial role in the sexual reproduction of human beings. The reproductive system performs a large number of functions in the female body, but during childhood and adulthood and old age. One of the primary functions is the organ system is the production of the cells necessary for sexual reproduction. That is, for the formation of new human being, which are known as ovule or oocytes. Ovules are the female gametes. Their male counterparts are known as sperm. Ovules contain practically all the food that nourishes the embryo that is produced when fertilization takes place. That is the function between an egg and the sperm, and in addition, half of the genetic information for the woman who produces it is stored. The female reproductive system not only produces ovules, but also especially place them in the place where they are accessible to the sperm that a man reproduction into a woman's body during intercourse or copulation. The female genital organs include the external genital organs, internal genital organs, and auxiliary genital glands. The internal genital organs include mons pubis, labia majora, labia minora, vestibule of the vagina, clitoris, pulse of the vestibule. The internal genital organs include vagina, uterus, fallopian tubes, and ovaries. The auxiliary genital glands include the vestibular glands, parauteral glands. In this image has part of number 1 uterine tube, ovary, body of the uterus, fundus of the uterus, urinary bladder, pubic symphysis, urethra, clitoris, vagina, labia minora, labia majora, intestine, and nix, and ureters. The external genital organs, the pubis mount or Venus mount. The mount pubis is a rounded prominence located in front of the pubic symphysis in the formed by fatty tissues. The labia majora are two large folds of skin containing subcutaneous fatty tissues that extend downward and backward from the mons pubis. The labia minora are two delicate folds of skin that do not contain subcutaneous fatty tissues, are covered with hair but do have sebaceous and sweat glands. The vestibule of the vagina is the space between the labia minora and the orifice of the urethra, the vagina, and the exit ducts of the major vestibular glands, or the Bartholin. The clitoris is a small cylindrical organ composed the erectile tissues that enlarge when filled with blood during sexual arousal. It is 2 or 3 centimeters long and is located between an uncertain on the labia minora. The halfway bulbs of the vestibule are two elongated masses or erectile tissues about 3 centimeters long, which are located or on either side of the vaginal opening. These bulbs are connected to the glands of the clitoris by veins.
Now we are going to talk about internal genital organs. We are going to talk about vagina. The vagina is the female organ of copulation, the place through which menstrual fluid releases to the exterior and the lower end of the beer canal. It is a muscular membranous tube that is located behind the urinary bladder and in front of the rectum. Uterus or womb. The uterus is a loud, pear-shaped muscular organ that forms part of the path flowed by sperm deposited in the vagina until they reach the fallopian tubes. It is about 7 or 8 centimeters long, 5 to 7 centimeters wide, and 2 or 3 centimeters thick because its walls are thick. We have the fallopian tube. The fallopian tubes are two tubes measuring 10 or 12 centimeters in length and 1 centimeter approximately in diameter that joins the horns of the uterus on each side. The parts we have in the fallopian tube is infundibulum, the ampulla, and uterine portion in the segment of the tube that pass through the wall of the uterus through which oxide is introduced into the uterus. And we have the ovaries. The ovaries are two oval almond-shaped bodies, approximately 3 centimeters long and 1 centimeter wide, and 1 centimeter thick. They are located one on each side of the uterus and are held in position by various ligaments, and it supports the food about the sperm. And we have the auxiliary genital glands. Um, we have Bartholini's glands that are in the major vestibular. They are located inside of the vestibule of the vagina, that have a size of 0.5 centimeters, and the function of these glands are secretions and lubricate the vestibule, principal during the sexual arousal. We have the pinnar vestibular glands that are the smallest one, and it locates each side of the vestibule of the vagina too. And we have the paruretal or snakeus, and open either side of the external orifice of the urethra.
Hello, teacher. I am Rosario and I am going to address the subtopic male reproductive system. This refers to the series organs and structures in a man's body that are involved in the production and transport of sperm, as well as the production of male sex hormones. Features: it is responsible for reproduction. It, its specific function include product, maintain, store, and transport sperm and the fluid that supports the cell. Semen, downland reproductive cells into the female reproductive tract during sexual intercourse. Produced and secrete male sex hormones responsible for maintaining the male reproductive system. It is made up of external and internal genitalia. The internal genital organs are the male's gonads, the epididymis, a variety of ducts, and accessory glands. The penis and scrot make up the external sexual organs. The penis is the capillary organ of the male external genitalia. Its functions are to release urine and seminal fluid through the urethra. It is divided in three portions: the root, the body, and the glands. It is innervated by the internal pudendal artery. Its venous draining is provided superficial external pudendal vein, and it is innervated by the pudendal nerve, the pelvic splanchnic ilioinguinal nerve. The scrotum is a skin bag that contains the testicles and the lower parts of the spermatic cord. It is made up of two layers: the skin on the surface and the dartos fascia of the scrotum. Contraction of the dartos muscle gives the scrotum its wrinkled appearance. The main function of the scrotum is the maintain the right temperature so that the testicles can produce sperm, approximately 2 degrees lower than body temperature. It is supplied by the scrotal branches of the internal and external pudendal arteries, while its innervation is given by branches of the sacral plexus in its anterior region and by the lumbar plexus in the posterior region.
Well, let's talk about the internal genitalia. First, we're gonna talk about testicles. The testicles or male gonads are male reproductive glands located in the scrotum. They have an ovoid shape and 4 to 6 centimeters in length. Embryologically, they develop retroperitoneally in the posterior abdominal wall and descend into the scrotum before birth. The testicles in men are analogous to the ovaries in women. The structure. The outermost layer is the tunica albuginea. The stroma consists of lobes composed of seminiferous tubules. The testicles have two faces, medial and lateral, separated by the anterior and posterior margins. Due to their ovoid shape, the testicles have an upper and lower extremities. The vascularization and innervation, the blood supply is by testicular artery, a branch of the abdominal aorta, and pampiniform plexus. Venous drainage is for the testicular vein drains who drains into the inferior vena cava, and the innervation comes from the testicular plexus from T10. The function they produce sex hormones called androgens, mainly the testosterone, in the process of steroidogenesis and spermatogenesis. The production of sperm occurs. The endocrine function of the testes is controlled by the anterior pituitary, while luteinizing hormone stimulates testosterone production and follicular stimulating hormone stimulates sperm production. Well, the prostate is an accessory gland of the male reproductive system. Is the size of a walnut and is located around the prostatic portion of the urethra. The prostate is crossed by the ejaculatory duct that carries sperm from the testicles, as well as the prostatic urethra that carries urine from the urinary bladder. The function is to produce prostatic fluid, which, in combination with the sperm from testicle, makes up the semen. The main function of the prostate fluid is to activate the sperm cells, which is why it assists in the general process of the reproduction. The vascularization and innervation, the arterial supply is for the prostate, is the internal pudendal artery. Venous drainage it's carried out through the prostatic venous plexus, which directs blood to the internal iliac veins. And innervation is by pelvic splenic nerves of the prostate plexus. The seminal vesicles are an accessory glands of the male reproductive system. They are characterized by being a pair of contour tubes located between the bladder and the rectum. During puberty, the seminal vesicles form shafts and contribute up 65 to 75% of the seminal fluid. The function of the seminal vesicles provide up to 85% of the seminal fluid, while the prostate gland secretes most of the rest. They secrete a yellow, alkaline, and viscous liquid that contains fructose, fibrinogen, prostaglandins, and vitamin C, as well as other specific proteins. The vascularization and innervation is the arterial supply. The arteries that supply the seminal vesicles are branches of the inferior vesical and middle rectal arteries. The innervation derives from the inferior hypogastric plexus, while sympathetic innervation comes from the hypoglossal and superior lumbar nerves. Finally, the urethra. The male urethra is a muscular tube from 18 to 22 centimeters long that transports urine from the urinary bladder. It also provides an outlet for semen or sperm and glandular secretions during ejaculation. It is made up four parts depend of the perineal regions it passes through. First one is intramural, preprostatic, then prostatic, then intermediate or membranous, and finally spongy or penile urethra. The vascularization and innervation, the prostatic branch of the lower vesical and middle rectal arteries. The venous drainage is from the dorsal vein of the penis and pudendal veins, and the innervation is from the prostate plexus.
Hello, my name is Paulina, and we're going to decide the muscular system, considering it is very important multifunctional system for human beings. Let's get started. Okay, so the muscular system is the group of muscle in the human body, and some responsible for movements, movement, posture, joint stability and heat generation. So the muscular system work in the coordination with the nervous and skeletal system to the control and executing pressing movements with magnetic body homeostasis. In addition to its motor function and play a crucial role and protect internal organ and regulation body temperature. By generating it during muscular contractile, it is contains over 16 muscular, which are classified into the three main types. One, skeletal muscle for responsibility voluntary movements of the body. This muscular and attracted to the bones by tendons and contracted to the produce force and movements. One structure. These are a long started musculus attached to the bones by the tendons. H. Skeletal musculus is made up of the muscular fibers or cells that contain microfibrils. These fibers appear striated due to the arrangement of the contractile proteins, actin and myosin. The function they enable voluntary movements of the body, maintaining posture and generation heat. They are controlled by the somatic nervous and system. For example, biceps, triceps, quadriceps. Okay, two is cardiac muscle, exclusive to the heart. This type of muscle is responsible for the involuntary contraction that pump blood through the circulatory system. The structure located in the heart. These muscles are straighter but have fiber connected by intercalary discs, which allow for coordination and rhythmic contraction. The fusion they enable the hair to contract and pump blood through the circulatory system. They are controlled by the automatic nervous system. For example, myocardium. Um, by finally, smooth muscle found in the walls of internal organs and blood vessels. Smooth muscle performance involuntary contraction that assist function such as digestion and blood flow regulator. The structure, the muscle are now starting and found in the walls of internal organs and blood vessels. Their fibers and structure and explain their shape. The fusion they facilitate involuntary movements such as contraction in the intestines, bone vessels, and another organ. They are controlled by the automatic nervous system. Finally, example muscle is the stomach wall, intestine, arteries.
Hi, my name is Miguel Adrian. Talk about is the important function of the muscular system and the movement and the posture, stability and the heat production. And the first is movement, skeletal muscle work by the skeletal system to facilitate voluntary movement. This includes everything from walking and running to fine motor skin like breathing, and the smooth muscles in the digestive tract, blood vessel, and organs allow for involuntary movement, such as moving food through the digestive system, and the fertility of controlling the diameter of blood vessel. And the cardiac muscles enable the heart to pump blood continuously through the body. Posture and stability, skeletal muscle help maintain posture by constantly making small adjustments to keep the body balanced. They also stability joints by controlling and limiting movement, preventing injury. And the heat production in the muscle contraction generate heat as a byproduct, which is crucial for maintaining body Temperature is the thermogenic effect is especially important during cool conditions to preventing hypothermia. And the physiological characteristic of the muscular system is the exactly the muscle can respond to a stimulus, typical nervous signal, and which trigger contraction, and the contractility, the ability of muscle fibers to shorten and generate force. These characteristics allow for movement and stabilization of the body and its parts, and extensibility muscle can stretch without being damaged. This is crucial for maintaining flexibility and ensuring a full range of motion in the joints, and the elastic muscle can return to their original shape and late after stretching or contracting. This allows them to maintain their structural integrity during after movement. And adaptively, muscle can adapt to increased workouts, working strong with training hypertrophic or working when not used atrophy. As is the finally.